What's up, y'all? Today we are talking about how God uses your past as spiritual discernment. That's right, how God uses your past, the old you, the things you grew up in, the things that you did as spiritual discernment, y'all. I want to talk about this because I actually had to learn this myself. And I also see a lot of Christians struggling with this, man, or just a lot of people struggling with it in general. But I want y'all to understand how God actually uses everything in our past for our good. Y'all know that scripture that says, what the enemy meant for evil, God uses it for our good. You know, it's crazy. And here's something. It's crazy how when I got closer to God, I used to think to myself, like who's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm following God and all that, but the people gonna look at me like I'm crazy because of the things that I did, right? How's somebody gonna believe me, or how I'm gonna be able to teach people or bring people closer to God? And I used to always want to have sex, or I had a potty mouth, or, you know, I would act out, I would react, or I sold drugs. Like, I grew up around thugs and drug dealers and stuff like that. And how I was like, who gonna believe and hear me? Who's gonna want to listen to anything that I say because of how I was, right? But you know what I realized? For one, I realized in the Bible how Paul used to be a killer, how Peter used to be how he was, right? How David used to be how he was, and the things that they did. I started to realize all these things that the people did and how God used it. Matter of fact, that's why I'm pointing out Paul. When I look at Paul, Paul was a whole Christian killer, and God saved him and changed him, and then he had to go and preach the gospel. But what I noticed was how they was looking at him at first. They was looking at him in a way, right? They was looking at him, they was judging him from the things that he did. The same thing happened with Moses. Remember when Moses left? When Moses killed that man, and then he tried to help the people, and it was like, how you gonna help me? Like, you killed somebody. They was judging him. They was looking at his past as bad, right? But God still called him, right? Even Moses, in the way that he spoke, he thought when nobody listened. Even when you look at Jeremiah said he was too young. Nobody would listen to him. So all these things that we think about ourselves, God actually uses those things. And this is what I learned about my life. God used my past. The enemy wanted to use it to make me feel guilt, wanted to use it to make me feel shame, wanted to use it to keep my mouth shut because he knew how passionate I was about God. He wanted to use everything that people thought about me, the things that I did in the past that wasn't so good, right? Even from the drugs to the sex to the people I was around, from getting kicked out of school, like. And even sometimes I still feel bad about that in some ways. Just a small little midget, you know what I'm saying? Like a little small part, it still be kind of scary. But at the same time, I've learned that God used that. When people learn this, and some people may not even believe these things about my life, but this is truth. These things that I went through and these things that I actually did are true. They're actually true. God knows it, right? But then I used to think that people are not going to accept me, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't used to being around holy rollers or people who didn't do the things that I did. I was used to being around people who did the things that I did because that's how they accept it. You know, we selling drugs, or we smoking, or we trying to go get girls and all of that. If I go around some guys that don't smoke, ain't never been around that, or who don't have their father, or didn't have their father in their life, or anything like that, or had issues with their family, that person might not accept me. That person might judge me. That person might look at me crazy. That person might not listen to a word I got to say. That's what I used to think until I started to see it in the Bible, until I started to actually, get out of my fear. And then I started to learn that people actually relate to what I say in my life. But another thing that I learned is that God accepts me in my past, and God uses my past to bless others. But since God is that way, those who do not accept, right, doesn't mean that no one has to accept me. Nobody owes me anything. No one has to accept me. But the thing is, when coming around friends or people in general or trying to get into a relationship, if someone turns their nose at my past or judges me because of my past, then that clearly shows me their spirit. You understand? That reveals to me of how they see God, of where they are, of if this person is really following him, if this person is struggling in this area, if this person is being superficial, or if they can see beneath the surface like how God wants them to see. It reveals if they have a forgiving spirit. It reveals if they are accepting of people who are different than them. If they are accepting of people, how God accepts those who are different, how God accepts the Gentiles, right? When they weren't like the Jews, how God accepted the uncircumcised when only the circumcised was seen as cleaned, right? So when I look different, especially somebody who's in the church, and then I look different from them because I did these things and they didn't do these things. They abstained from sex. They was virgins. They ain't never been on the street. They ain't never, did all of these things that I did. But then they don't accept me. I can see where they are. God reveals a lot of things of what I learned from my past, from my life. It's almost like it's used for discernment, which I believe it really is, because remember, the enemy does not accept it. The enemy judges you. The enemy throws stones at you. God does not. So if God does not, then I can see others, and I can see him in others, and they can see him in me. I want people to understand that you can stop thinking that you are not good enough. You can stop running away from people that you think will run away from you because you think that they will run away from how your past was, or how your life was, or the things that you did in your past, or the circumstances that you grew up in. Like, you don't have to run away from that, because God uses our past as spiritual discernment. Whoever does not accept you, that is okay. You don't have to want to be accepted, right? You don't have to want to be a people pleaser to be accepted. You can reveal yourself. God allowed your life to be the way that it was. Of course, he may not have wanted your life to be that way, but he allowed it because he knew that you were born into sin. God wants to use your life for good, but if you cover up your life, if you cover it up, if you try to bury it, if you try to hide it, he cannot use you the way that he wants to, and he cannot bless you the way that he wants to, because you're hiding something, which means you're going to be masking it, trying to be something else. And when you do that, you can't see who's who. You can't see who's who. When you fake something, or when you mask, or when you hide, you can't see if somebody truly will love you, if somebody truly will accept you, if somebody wants to know who you are, if somebody accepts you as who you are, right? What you'll get is people who people who seem to be this way based on what you presented to them. God will reveal the truth to you when you can be truthful. God will reveal the truth to you when you can be truthful. When you can reveal yourself, that's when he'll show you the truth. That's when he'll show you who's who. But he can't do that when you're not revealing yourself. When you over here hiding because you're scared. You're scared that somebody will judge you because of how your life was, because of how your family treated you, because of how you might have issues in your family, because of how you might read, because of how you might think, because of the things that you did in your past, because you might have had sex when you told them you wasn't having sex, because of how you might have treated people. You don't got to be afraid. I've done all these things. I've done them all. I've done a lot of things, but I'm going to reveal it all. I may not reveal it all at the same time, but I'm going to reveal it all. And I ain't hiding from nobody. This is why I don't try to talk another way. I'm not trying to be who I'm not. I don't want to, I see people, I ain't going to lie. I see people that speak and act certain ways, that might even dress different ways. I do like to dress up sometimes. I actually used to dress up a lot, but I stopped. Got to get back into it. I actually like how I feel. I like how I look when I'm dressing up, right? But I don't have to try to be like someone else so that I can get someone else, so I can get people around me to like me. I actually know that when I am who I am, God reveals the authenticity around me about others. I get who will love me. I get the people who will love me and the people who will accept me. That's how I know that they real, because when I reveal the real me, I receive the real them. I mean, they may not be, some people obviously they struggling too, but still they still are coming into my life knowing that I am who I am. You understand? They're not choosing to be around me or be my friend because of who they think I am, but who I actually am. Now, obviously, some people may not really know who I am because of the videos and the posts and stuff. They don't really know. They probably just think, like they might think of whatever they think about a godly person or somebody who's a Christian. But as y'all know, when y'all see the videos and lives, like I keep it real. Like I'm gonna be myself, and that's exactly who you should be. God will reveal to you if a man wants to be with you. If God has called that person to be with you, then they will see you the way that he sees you. But you have to show them what God sees, right? Same thing for my brothers. She will do the same thing. You don't have to try to be out here flaunting money and looking away and saying all of these things about your life and you a provider and all that to get this woman, bro. Be yourself. You ain't gotta try to, you don't gotta try to impress somebody to like you. Be you. Ladies, you don't have to try to impress men. You don't have to show your body. You don't have to do what they want you to do. You don't have to be persuaded, right? And when I say do what they want you to do, I'm talking about things that go against God. Things that God would not want you to do. You don't have to do something that God would not want you to do to get this man. Be godly. Be who God called you to be. Be yourself with God's spirit inside of you and his character as you follow him doing what you want to do morally and righteously. And that man that God has for you will see that. The same thing for my brothers. We don't have to mask. We don't have to hide. I don't have to hide and say that, oh yeah, I got a good relationship with my mom. That's a lie. I don't. I haven't. I want to. I'm the one in the relationship with me and my mother that want to. I want to communicate. She don't want that. But I understand why she doesn't, and it's because of her unawareness. I understand that. But I'm not about to sit here and lie because somebody might judge me and be like, well, if you don't got a relationship with his mom, I don't care. I don't care what they think. I'm going to still reveal it. So what? So what? Right? I don't have to lie. I don't have to lie. Y'all see this house right here? This ain't my house. This is my brother's crib. This is my brother's crib. I'm staying here right now while I work on getting a house because God called him to ask me to come here when I was living at my old crib a year ago. That's the truth. I was like, Lord, I want a house. What's going to happen, God? I'm praying. I ain't tell him a thing. I told him about a house probably like 2 years ago. I hadn't spoken to him about a house before that. I told God, what you doing? I want this house. Next thing you know, my brother called me talking about like, yo, you still at this apartment? You still at your apartment? I'm like, yeah, I'm still at the apartment. I just renewed my lease. And he was like, yo, bro, I know you wanted a house. You could come stay in my crib for a little bit and then work on getting that house. I said, word? I said, well, at first I didn't say word. I was like, nah, bro, I'm good, right? But then I remembered like, hold on, I've been praying about this. I ain't said nothing to him. Where did this come from? That's God. So you think I'm over here scared to tell a woman that I'm at my brother's crib? I don't care. Remember, y'all left my job. Hold up, I'm being real with y'all. This is a vulnerable moment. I'm being 100% real with y'all, right? I just left my job 6 months ago, right? Y'all know how men look very bad if they don't got a job. Bro, I ain't never had a job. I ain't never not had a job in my life. Right now, this is my thing. This is what I'm doing because God called me to full-time ministry. Plus, I'm in my PhD program that's full-time, that's extremely hard to do while working. And God led me to start the membership that starts on November 4th, right? I'm doing all of this. I don't have a job right now. You think I'm going to be scared to tell a woman? I don't care, y'all. I don't care. You know why I don't care? It's because that I know that once I am truthful and I reveal the truth, God will show me their spirit. God uses our past. He uses our life as spiritual discernment. But if we are not honest, then we lie. But if we are not honest, then we'll receive lies. We're lying, but we're also going to receive lies because we're not receiving what's true, because we are presenting something that's not true. And when we present something that's not true, we don't receive what is true. Because people will think that they're getting something from me, and they will give me something based on what they think they are getting from me. But the same thing happens when you are true. I will receive what I have given. If I was truthful, then someone sees me and they know who I am, so I will receive them and they will receive all of me, right? Now, obviously, I might not tell them everything, but they see who I truly am. And they're accepting that from me because I did not mask this, because I did not fake it. You understand? God reveals. God uses our past. God uses our life. It's spiritual discernment that we get, but we cannot be afraid. This is why we have to be honest. This is why we got to walk in truth, in righteousness, not lies, right? Because again, y'all, how many women gonna accept me into their life knowing, oh, he don't got a job, knowing that he's doing content, he's a creator, and I'm doing all these other things, but at the same time, they say that you're not worthy. They say that you're worthless. Bro, I'm doing this for God. I am a certified researcher. I am a certified mental health professional. I am a certified IT professional. Certified. I can get a job so quick. But I am allowing God to lead my life. And this is very scary. But what I could receive from the world, they're going to look down on me. Women going to look down on me. How many women not going to want to be with me? But I don't care. Because it's God first. And God will reveal their heart. God will reveal their spirit. God will reveal who they are. And God will allow whoever in my life and remove whoever in my life. You feel me? And I'd rather God do that than for me to keep something that ain't trying to be kept, or that don't want who I am and my truth in my life. Come on now. I could care less. I love the truth so much that I can't be fake. You should do the same, because your Father in heaven ain't fake. He real. So you got to be the same way. Stop caring about others. We don't people please. But I understand why it might be scary, because it's scary for me too in certain instances. But God, I love him more than I love myself, and I could care less what I receive from somebody else. Y'all hear the bars? Y'all hear the rhymes? All right, y'all. I hope this video bless y'all. Don't be afraid, y'all. Don't feel down. Don't feel shame. Don't feel guilt from your past, from your life, from whatever it is. God will use that thing. Be honest. Walk in the truth. Walk in righteousness, and let God do his thing. All right? I love y'all. I hope that y'all have a good one. I ask that y'all like this video up. I ask that you share this video. I ask that you subscribe if you are not subscribed. And sign up for the membership, y'all. It's starting November 4th, and it's only going to be 1 week. It's only going to be open 1 week before I close it. So if you want to be a part of it, you got to get on it. All right? November 4th, sign up for the wait list right now. All right? I'm going to get it, y'all, when I get it, y'all.